Hey all, welcome back to Evolution Tech.
What has been decided is to impose on the automotive industry electrification that brings 50% additional cost against a conventional vehicle. So we have to digest 50% of additional cost. There is no way we can transfer 50% of additional cost to the final consumer.
Are we approaching the end of a time when Stellantis will no longer produce EVs? CEO Carlos Tavares just made a statement that caught everyone off guard. Legacy manufacturers are finding it difficult to turn a profit on electric vehicles, while businesses like Tesla and BYD are flourishing. You may be shocked to learn the sinister cause of this, and to further matters, the CEO of Stellantis has been making some unsettling remarks about electric vehicles. He even asserted that there may be a 50% increase in EV prices soon. However, why are all the companies being killed by Chinese EV makers? The CEO of Stellantis asserts that producing EVs financially is impossible. But given that Tesla and BYD price their vehicles in the premium market, how are they managing to pull this off? The CEO of Stellantis, the parent business of Jeep, Carlos Tavares, appears to be singing a different tune. His takeaway: despite its electrifying appeal, EVs may not be the future that we are all hoping for. But this is the deliberate reason Jeep is delaying the delivery of its EVs. But in a few minutes, more on that. As revealed by Tavares at Stellantis' first Freedom of Mobility Forum, it's possible that we don't even have enough raw resources on Earth to sustain the electric vehicle revolution. Even if we are aware that lithium is necessary, why do we not have as much of it as we need? A villain named resource scarcity may be the reason why the EV fairy story is going to come to an end. But there's still more. With an astounding 1.3 billion gas guzzlers on the road, the CEO of Stellantis stated that producing more EVs is not the only way to replace all of these automobiles. It has to do with getting an enormous amount of lithium. We may be running low, guys. Let's discuss numbers now, before the EV fanatics start putting out their counter-arguments. The EV trajectory shows that the math is just incorrect. With a massive expenditure of more than $35.5 billion on plug-in vehicles through 2025 and a first EV battery manufacturing in partnership with Samsung, Stellantis has big aspirations. The future of electric vehicles has been utterly ruined by almost $4 billion in losses, thousands of EVs gathering dust in dealer lots, and the unceasing pressure from political leaders. Exorbitant electric vehicles are no longer in demand, and the general public is opposing EVs more than before. Carlos Tavares, the CEO of Stellantis Jeep, has finally revealed the whole truth about the other side of this tale that no one wants you to be aware of. Carlos Tavares, the CEO of Jeep, sent a grave warning to all EV manufacturers earlier this month. You're all going to go bankrupt by 2030. Nobody is buying EVs now. Come out of the hype bubble, is essentially what he said. This shocking revelation has the power to completely change the way that we think about electric cars. Not only that, but Tavares also revealed every fraud that is now being carried out in the sector behind closed doors. Tavares, the CEO of Jeep, the company that powers brands like Ram, Chrysler, Dodge, and Jeep, didn't mince words when he outlined the brutal truth. According to him, all in all, they are disrupting present manufacturing in an effort to switch to EVs. SUV sales are lacking despite the high demand, mostly due to significant dealer price markups. Carlos has also let dealers extort thousands of dollars from their automobiles in spite of all of this. In essence, he wishes to present Jeep as a luxury car maker. But what's wrong with Jeep's dependable, well-established image? For instance, a 2015 Jeep Wrangler would have cost you between $35 and $38,000. However, the identical vehicle with a manual gearbox now costs an astounding $52,000 in 2023. And keep in mind that their models cost far more than $100,000. Well, what on earth were they thinking? Jeep does, however, still have electric vehicle intentions, but here's the catch. They're doing all they can to postpone it. Jeep, a legendary off-road company with roots in World War II, has not been left behind by the electric revolution. Now that the Grand Cherokee and Wrangler are offered as 4XE plug-in hybrid vehicles, the manufacturer has made an apparent commitment to electrification. According to the CEO of the Jeep brand, Christian Monet, Jeep wants to be the world's top SUV brand with zero emissions. Isn't that impressive? With prototypes like the Wrangler Magneto 3.0 concept, which boasts an incredible 650 horsepower and 900 pound-feet of torque, Jeep has been teasing the market. The release date of the all-electric Wrangler has been pushed back to an astounding 2027. Even with their electric Wrangler concept, Jeep demonstrated what was feasible. Why then hold off until 2027? Even though the Wrangler EV is formally in development, other models, including the high-end Wagoneer and the Recon, will debut in North America before the EV. First of all, compared to ICE SUVs, electric SUVs are typically more expensive up front. For many prospective owners, the initial outlay may be exorbitant, despite the possibility of long-term fuel savings. Electric SUVs may see a decrease in range as a result of battery degradation over time. While automobiles also have wear and tear parts, these usually don't cause a direct and significant decline in utility as a battery replacement does. Changing these batteries can be costly, owing to a cargo that is comparatively heavier. Carlos Tavares, the CEO of Stellantis, previously predicted that the transition to electric automobiles may place cars out of reach for the typical person. Even if things don't seem fantastic right now, Jeep is reportedly planning ahead and isn't giving up. One issue at a time, beginning with the absurd dealer markups, will be addressed. They want to implement a novel store model which will enable their clientele to benefit from reduced MSRP. They intend to charge suppliers more for electrification, nearly 85% of an automobile's worth, according to CEO Carlos Tavares, comes from external components. Their CEO also mentioned last week that they could be able to resume production in America if an old factory reopens. If the adoption of EVs encounters additional obstacles throughout its assumed linear expansion, it may have a somewhat longer runway of 5 to 6 years. But there's no denying that time is passing, and it's doing it quickly. The affordability of electric vehicles is a crucial component of this entire scenario. Tavares highlights that a $25,000 automobile needs to turn a profit. Automakers are setting themselves up for a crash if they are unable to draw in middle-class shoppers with reasonably priced electric vehicle choices. Another facet of this shift that is worth considering is the human element, as demonstrated by Jeep's recent agreement with the United Auto Workers. With optional severance benefits for paid U.S. employees and a buyout package worth $50,000 for those eligible for retirement, the corporation is managing both technological and human changes. But the important thing to remember is that we need to concentrate on offering more alternatives and lowering prices for the typical consumer rather than only depending on EVs. The whole car industry should take note of Tavares' caution. In the competition to electrify, it's not only about producing the most sophisticated EVs, it's also about producing them in a way that is sustainable and lucrative. There will soon be a significant upheaval in the EV market. Businesses that are unable to meet the technological and financial demands of this shift risk being left behind in the next 10 years. The future of several automakers is at risk, and time is of the essence. At this point, would you consider purchasing an EV? Tell us in the comments section below. That's all, guys. Keep subscribing and supporting.